Let me mansplain.
Oh my god. Becky, look at her.
It's the Let Me Mansplain Podcast.
Hello?
Straight up.
I was actually listening to
Straight
a
up.
joint yesterday. Clouds by J. Cole.
Cook, my nigga, cook.
Bruh, like he was hey bruh, Cole was talking. Cole was talking. It's just that did you hear the Wiz Khalifa remix?
Nah, I haven't. But Wiz is on some shit lately. He's on some shit lately, so I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, because Vede Cole sampled one of Wiz Khalifa's old songs. And you hear at the beginning of the song, Cole even tries the Wiz Khalifa love. I'm like, nah. And then Wiz Khalifa does it on the remix. I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Nah, man. You know, everyone has their own unique sound, their own unique style. You cannot replicate it. You cannot replicate it, man.
Bruh, and you know something random yesterday? Like while I was graphing, I was listening to Zaire Rashad Soviet Demo. Do you remember that album or mixtape?
Which one is that one?
The one with the brown background, the one with I came, I saw, I conquered, I shut you
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that joins
Mm.
that and then I thought to myself, yes, all the psychedelic music isn't in anymore. Maybe from like
No,
2014 to 2016, and then niggas moved on.
yeah, it was a small little part because I remember Tyler was on that for a while, like his whole Wolfgang squad was on that. I know Isaiah Rashad was on that. By the way, was it Sun's Tirade?
Sun's Tirade, crazy album.
Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss.
Crazy
Absolutely beautiful.
album. What's that joint with Kendrick on it? Oh, sometimes I get so ahead of myself. Oh man.
Oh, sometimes I get so ahead of myself. Feel like I'm running in circles. And I'm just holding on to my breath. I need smoke just to wait.
Oh man, like that
Feel
takes me
like
back,
I'm running in circles.
bruh.
I know.
Do you know
And
how
then
many smoke
also,
sessions that took me back to, bruh? Yo.
last number. No, that was, you see, like music, this is why I'm like, music, I think part of what makes music not hit the same is that our lives don't hit the same. That sounds kind of sad, but like, like uni, like last 2 years of high school, university was peak life, bro. You're
Mm,
just living, doing whatever. Well, please, this motherfucker, Joe. Please, fuck you. Just no care for the world. All you had to do is just submit things on time, make sure that you don't flunk out of school, and you
well,
lived.
yes and no. Because I was also listening to this Party Next Door and Drake album. That shit hits now. Like
Yeah, it does. It
I
does.
actually went outside with it. Sabonje played it at nights, all that shit. And like one thing about both Party Next Door and Drake, their albums age extremely well.
Very
Extreme.
well. So well. I'm glad you mentioned that because there is no there's not many people, not many artists, right, where you can listen to something 5, 10 years later and it still hits the same. A lot of it, when you listen back to it, it's like, what was I thinking? Because I remember I had a brief period where I rocked heavy with Tyler the Creator. And when I go back and listen to his first shit, it just sounds like an edgy incel kid online trying to say crazy shit to piss people off. There's some things that still make me laugh, but
Yeah. Nah, but he was rapping though. I think that's the only thing that sets him apart from people who just say shit to say shit. He was basically
yeah.
well, on the I still have Martians and Goblins on my phone because
Oh.
Wayne, and Game were rapping their asses off there.
No, the game was cooking. And I think it's probably something I've said a number of times, but Game is one of those niggas that he needs to stop doing things away from the mic because if it was just on mic, man, that man has a crazy discography.
Yeah,
Crazy
he
discography.
doesn't have a bad project at all.
No, he doesn't. Like Red Album is amazing. All the documentaries are
Documentaries
amazing.
are insane. And he dropped two in 1 year, right? Two and 2.5.
Yes, 2 and 2.5. Amazing.
Bruh. Like I think he wait,
No,
did he have both Kendrick and Drake on the same one or was one on the
Yes, yes, with
2.5.
100. There was
Yeah.
one with 100, and then there was what's the one?
La
Dum,
la
dum,
la la
yeah,
la.
dum,
The Erica
dum,
Badu sample.
yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, I remember that one.
On me.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, on me, it's on me. Raise up, nigga, you ain't
You were
not the
not the
homie.
homie, bitch. I'm all connected from the
Yeah.
sections unto Long Beach. Wow, boy.
No, you see, but you know what? I don't know why you asked that like it was a thing back then, because it was very easy for you to have a Drake feature and have the stimulus package from the boy and also have something from K.A.N.E. Back then, I don't think it was that public. Like I think the last 18 months is where this thing really started simmering to the point that you had to pick a side. But back then, you could work with anyone.
Nah, bro, but like, and me, like, for me personally, I still don't give a damn about picking a side or whatever. It's just, I just don't like the whole, okay, this person did this. Oh no, now they trash. Oh, this person dropped this verse. Oh, now they trash. Even if the song is trash, it doesn't mean now reference the battle and say, okay, but then in the battle, he said, no, if the Kendrick's verse on Cardi's album is trash, it's just trash. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like your legacy is already too cemented. I hate people who like to completely rewrite history because of one moment, man. If Cristiano Ronaldo misses on open goals, it doesn't change the fact that he still smacked a number from 40 yards. He still did a number on the numbers of teams. I don't like that recency bias thing.
Yeah, but no, bro. Like, one more thing before we start. You see, one song that hit my soul that K.A.N.E used to always sing in high school, and even the teacher were in cats, and then the teacher just stopped and just stared at him the whole time. She's like, "Are you okay?" Like he was singing Legend. Oh my God, if I
If
die,
I
I'm a
die, I'm a
legend.
legend.
All I know, if I die,
Oh
Ah,
man,
bro.
oh man.
Bro, he doesn't even have to die. And look, man, this is the things I'm talking about. Like when I listen to, if you're not reading this, I just think of coming back from the most lit event with the man them hanging by a thread in the back seat. Shorty's on the laps. The thing is crammed like the car is crammed like a pack of sardines. We're moving like Durban Indians, bro, because Durban Indians know how to overload taxi numbers in the TAS.
Jesus Christ.
And that's all facts. Coming back from that, still going to second location, still going to crash at someone's crib, just
Bruh.
memories that you just cannot forget. Things that you sit back and you think, yeah, man, if I can go back for just a week or two.
Bro, I'm sorry. Like, I still think even in my adulthood, there's certain albums that stick with me, and I keep going back. Yeah, well, we don't trust you. That one is cemented forever.
Yeah,
Forget the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
beef. Like, forget the beef,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that shit is still fire. Well, the Young Metro with the Weekend. Ha! That's a Negro spiritual. I'm telling you.
Ah, no, strong, strong, strong. And that future project, I think he dropped it in 2021. I can't remember
I
what it
never
was,
liked
but it
you.
was the one before.
Oh,
Not that one. The one
I,
before. I think it was the
the one
one
with
before
the
that.
one
The
of
one
my
with
niggas got
demons.
rich off bricks. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. That
yes.
shit.
And the one with the
High
one
of
with
life. Yeah,
demons, man. Yeah, yes, I think that's the one. You
yeah. That
ain't
was
did shit
2020,
I
dog.
did. Nigga be riding with demons. You ain't did
Bruh,
shit
do you
I
know how many
did.
hits Future had on that shit? It was Demons,
Bro,
it was
too
High
many.
of Life, it was Bitch Don't Get Too Comfortable. Bruh, forget all of that.
Mm.
A song that dropped that year and went diamond in 2020 was what's that joint's working
Life's
on the
good.
weekend? Like,
Yes,
bruh,
yes, yes,
that shit was a hit.
yes.
The pandemic literally stopped it from us and really enjoying it. Like, I need to listen to it on my workout tomorrow, bruh.
And
Yo,
that actually dropped just before pandemic. That was
it
early
was like
2020.
it was like Feb or late Jan or Feb. Because I remember
Yeah,
I went to yeah, yeah.
it was before the COVID hit because I remember the boy did the two pack because there was that also that other joint that had the streets, that Chris Brown one. The you got it,
Nah,
you got it.
that was 2019 though. That was 2019.
Was it?
Psh, I was doing some shit. Trust,
Sensational.
trust. I remember. Nah, bro.
Yo, wait. Now
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
say that, there's some joints, bro, that you just think about, right? Like, I was on some shit. You know that Party Next Door, was it P1 or P2? But
P2 showcase.
P2 was welcome,
Thirsty.
welcome to the party. Oh,
Oh no, that was
Thursday.
P1. That was P1 is
P1,
welcome
yes,
to the
yes, yes.
party. Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
like 2014 times.
Yeah, 2013. 2014. Yeah,
Yeah,
you see, yeah, people that overlook Party Next Door, bro. Party Next Door has joints because his first two albums, the third one is a classic to me, but I know the public doesn't like it. So, and it was also like, centered around his shit with K.A.N.E, so not everyone's gonna
yeah.
feel it. But P1 and P2, the one with the joints,
Mm.
that smile on your face, Break from Toronto.
Oof, oof, oof,
Do you know the
oof.
memories, my nigga? Like that was the first time I realized sending a girl a song got me cooch, bro.
Sensational.
That was the first time I
Yo,
realized.
yo, it's that, and also uh the snippets, because that was when snippets of like Insta and everything and the WhatsApp statuses started going. So you do that thing where, or I would do that thing where I play the song and then film like I have two glasses out, one is full, and then I'd send the status to her directly. Cooking that thing was, yeah, someone should be here tonight. And then kick and press, boy. Surely,
Inside.
surely, inside, counterattack, inside. But all those songs just remind me, man, like, yeah, nigga was a filthy nigga. Like Party Next Door, a little bit of Tory Lanez,
Black.
um, Black, oh, 6 lakh, dog. And before he cut the hair, we had the crazy hair.
We had the
Also,
wig.
yes, sir.
That
Was
was a
that a
wig,
wig?
bro. Apparently it
Oh my
shifted. There's
God.
a video of his hair shifting.
Him and then Weekend with the pineapple hair.
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
boy.
yes. Okay. I think we were a little too young for Weekend with the pineapple hair, but when he switched over to when he cuts his hair and shit, a boy Star Boy, underrated.
It is underrated, but he changed the sound. But you know, Beauty, was it Beauty Behind the Madness?
Oh,
The one with the Ed
excellent.
Sheeran dreads. Bro, like that is the
Excellent.
soundtrack of so much of my fuck shit in life, man.
Bro, I
I
got in
know that
trouble.
there's
My bad. I got in trouble with my parents because of that album. Because was it a tweet or something? I tweeted out, I'm a prisoner to my addiction because I just quoting the song. Yeah, bro. Mind you, my mom did some nonsense that moms do and went and tried to search some shit on us and then she found out tweets. That's when back when we were using our real names and shit. So then I got in
oh
trouble and
man.
then my dad was like, if you have an addiction, we'll get you help. I'm like, bro, I'm literally just quoting lyrics. Bruh.
Yo, man, that is such a like sometimes you'll be playing music and then and your pops like an old head will ask you, what's he?
You
What is
imagine
this
that.
one on about? What is this one? What do you mean you have no type? You need type. Ah,
Bad
my little
bitches is
cousin.
the only thing that I
That
like.
are like, manje, bitch, in there. Ifebe, ngithanda ifebe bafana bami. Ingakho ngifuna to be successful in life. Buka ukuthi ngithandani. Lalela umsangano. Like, oh man. But yeah, man, the music definitely takes you places. And you know another thing that takes you places?
Yeah.
It's yours truly in the world's most sensational
Sensational.
podcast with Fear Bavaria in your area, alongside with.
Wesley Sniper, I shoot him from a distance like Roberto Carlos.
And K.A.N.E is away on international duty, but at least he was scoring. He's still banging them in.
Sensational.
And as always, this is the Let Me Mansplain podcast, the world's most
Sensational.
sensational podcast where
Everything.
everything goes just as long as you can mansplain. What up?
Bro, like I don't want to spend too much time on this because he's looking for attention. But did you see Ye's rants and over the last few weeks?
Bro, and this is in such true Kanye fashion that he's gonna lose his shit and then drop an absolute masterpiece. And then the masterpiece isn't even the full gravity of the conversation. We more focus on the fact that you called Jigga's kids retarded and that you wanted to beef with your wife for not letting your kids work with Diddy. Like, there's a lot of hills to die on, but Diddy is a damn choice, bro. Diddy is a damn choice. Like, fighting for Diddy. It's like, nah, my kid has got to work with Diddy and we got to release this joint. Aye, bro. Why would you fight to get your kids around Diddy? That's a very suspect move, man, for any parent.
And not too long ago in 2021 he was called, or 2022 he was calling him a fed and all that stuff. So it's like, bruh, we can tell that you want to attach yourself to anything that is deemed as problematic and all of that. But my thing is, why is it that, oh, the thing that annoys me the most is that people really want to keep giving him chances. I'm like, guys, just ignore him and he'll go away. Because I even like literally saw right now he released his album on YouTube. I haven't listened yet. I'll listen when I find the time. But it's just like, okay, I actually won't because it's AI. But it's like, bro, if you're gonna keep doing this for attention and then you're just gonna drop that, yes, your core fans will go ahead and stick by you. But it's like, bro, you're doing too much now. You're even targeting children, bro. Like, I don't even listen to Playboy Cardi, but him talking about his child like that, even when little Playboy Cardi tweeted, it was like, hey, bro, shut up, yeah. Because it's like, no, now you bring people that have
Yeah,
nothing to do with nothing, knowing how much Ye loves his own children. So it's like, no, now you're doing anything. He needs to get beat up just straight.
one of the things that served Kanye very well is that he exists in almost the conspiracy economy because right now people are so like reality sucks for so many people that they like to entertain a theory that is so far from reality. And I think Kanye does that for a lot of people because Kanye will drop nine things. If he says nine things, one or two of them will be facts, and then niggas will be like, nah, everything else is still gonna come to pass because Kanye is in the future. You just gotta give him time. Like that nigga is wrong most of the times, but the few times that he's right, we're gonna hold on to it because Kanye is a genius and he knows what he's doing. And it's almost like we give unconventional people the benefit of the doubt purely because we're hoping that at some point this all turns it around and then everyone is wrong. Like everyone is trying so hard to have a moment where they're the only one saying the correct thing that we're happy with bouncing 1,000 wrong things off the board just as long as a couple of them come right. And for me, I'm sick of that, man. Kanye is not someone to listen to. Man needs medical help at this point, man.
Bro,
Niggas unhinged, bro.
you know where the tide shifted for Kanye was when it's because everyone was like, okay, no matter what he did, he was still a musical genius. Then the
Facts.
musicality left. Once the musicality left,
Ooh.
then people stopped. And then I'm like, so it only took for that to stop for people to realize who he was. I'm like, you see how stupid people are in general.
Yeah, man. Leave the football before the football leaves you.
Yes, sir! This nigga spitting. Damn, nigga!
The reality, man.
Facts.
Sensational.
Bro,
Sensational.
he didn't want to leave the football, bro. He didn't want to leave the football at all. Like there's something very painful when you watch a legend that you used to make sure that you catch everything they do and you watch them fall off. There's nothing worse than that, man. It's like watching one of your favorite baddies fall off, man.
Uh, okay, Loki, I don't care. Actually, no. Actually, you're right. Because there was one chick I went to varsity with, and then it's like,
I'm glad you said that because you're a real nigga. I like that you're thinking, right? And I know you just did something very normal right now, but you're thinking just lets me know you're a real nigga because most guys listening, when they heard that, they would think some Instagram baddie, they would think something that's so far away from them, they'd think of something that's a symbol. You brought it down to practical things that you know. And that's exactly where it hits, where the 100 everyone was losing
their
their
minds
mind
for,
over in high
yeah.
school. You see them today and it's like, or you know that thing on Facebook where it's like, so and so is your mutual, and then you just click on it, you look at the profile pictures and be like,
Right? And
yo,
it's not even that only. There's okay, I don't think she listens, but there's this chick I went to varsity with, and like she had
nigga
this,
to kill himself.
bruh. I'm trying to think. I'm like, is anyone connected to her listening? But nah. But I'm just like,
Nah, man, nigga has to get his samples clear.
hey, plus, I'm just like, yes, back then she just had this natural sexiness about her. It's just like, I don't know, you just
Yeah.
looked at her and she was just mad sexy. And I'm not saying the child made her lose a spark, but she had the child. And then now she's just,
Ooh.
and she's still the same size. Like she didn't like gain any weight or anything. She's still shaped the same. But it's like the sexiness is gone. Like that,
Yeah, 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 I hear you. I hear
that
you.
kick
It's like
is,
there's yeah. You know, the aftertaste is gone, bro. It's flat. It's like Coca-Cola if you leave it open too long. Still the same drink, still the same color, but the fizz is gone.
Bruh, that's what I'm saying. Let's see, like, I don't know what it is. It's like even if I not if I saw an ex of mine like last year, early last year, and then I was doing my own thing, Fed. I was, doing my ones and twos, and then I see her come out of a hotel, and then I'm like,
Ooh.
you know, she's lost the spark that she had. Yes, she's still pretty, and niggas that see her, of course, will still approach her. But it's just like she's lost that thing, that sex appeal. It's like what happened? It's like, are you too deep into this lifestyle now that that you've lost that aura?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Ooh. I hear you. No, no, look, I think sometimes it's not always that an aura is lost, but sometimes you just find out. I think sometimes when you get too close to something that looks very luscious and it's gleaming and it's shining and you find out, it just ruins it for you. It's like you find out what the secret sauce is. And once you find out what the secret sauce is, there's not much more else in that burger or that meal that can hold it together outside of the secret sauce. So once you find out the secret sauce, you're like, nah.
Yeah, once you find out the formula for the Krabby Patty.
Oi, bro, and that patty is hella crabby sometimes, especially with these lifestyles that some of these Huns they living, bro. Crabby as hell.
I know, but
Bikini bottom, in fact.
facts. But bruh, we just chatting. But speaking about chatting and podcasts and stuff, when you said I had to clear my sample, did you see that joints with Reason? To me, he's still Reason because I listened
He's
to
still
Run
reason. I don't know.
Sizwe
Sizwe
Alkaline or Alkaline, my
Alkaline,
bad.
or I don't know. I don't know
Bruh, I
also.
didn't,
But
bruh,
yeah,
look, to be dead honest, I
reason.
did not know he even changed his name until now.
Yeah, I didn't either. Wait. The ones like okay, it's not that I didn't know. It's like I was still confused because there's that joint with Ukabza. Sizwe imithanda zoyabantu. And he shows up on the video, and then I don't see reason there in the feature. So I'm like, is this the actual same nigga? Or is it just a nigga that looks like him? Because I can swear this is reason.
I have a
But anyway,
conspiracy, but before we get into what happened, I have a conspiracy as to why he changed his name. I think he changed his name around 2018 there or 2019 there. And
yeah.
then there was a time when TDE signed the American Reason. So I feel like see what I'm saying? So if you
Mm,
upload music, it might go onto his mic, not well, it might get fucked up.
yeah.
So my
And
conspiracy,
around there
yeah,
he did a track with J Rock as well. Banger.
exactly. My main conspiracy is that no, they paid him and said, hey, if you change your name so that we can, yeah, but then it ended up not working out because he left TDE. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and they probably gave him a care package, like gave him a track because he did a track with J Rock. Because I remember hearing that come onto my Spotify a couple of years back, 2019, 2020 times. What is it called? It is what it is, was what it was. You should check it out, Fire Joints. But anyway, I was like, J Rock and Reason, interesting. He went bar to bar with J Rock, by the way. But I think also J Rock gave him some throwaway bars. I think.
That's
But
what they do.
he's
It's
yeah.
called a brown paper bag verse. You just give them your response.
Oh, damn, that's cold. That's cold. But it's a cold track. But either way, that conspiracy carries weight. I also think it's just like a little bit of a genre shift as well, because I think hip hop in Saudi hasn't been hitting the same. I always think of Casper. I know that and you shouldn't insert the Casper clip the cryptochronics, don't overthink it. It's just Sibunu ke Sibun. Yeah. And I think that shift in the hip hop ear going towards piano and deep house and Kwaito and all of that, that's probably why he changed it. But anyway, enough of conspiracy and tinfoil hats, man. Let's cook. So someone on that piano podcast didn't clear the sample, clearly.
Clearly not. But then it's also niggas are just running their mouths just for the sake of running their mouths. Because now it's like a thing of I don't even know these guys' names. I've never watched it. I see it on my YouTube. Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
up, dog. Sorry to interrupt, but let's just give a short synopsis for niggas who don't know what we're talking about. I think his name is Taki, whatever his name is. He's on that piano. What's Piano Hub or Piano
Piano
whatever?
Pulse or
It's
something.
yeah. Piano Pulse. There we go. on MacG's channel, right? And he was talking about Reason and his recent hunt. Was it
Gigi Lamaine, yeah.
Gigi Lamaine, and then I don't know the other one.
Oh,
And
his
his
baby
baby
mama.
moms.
Oh, Loose Love.
Yeah, I didn't even know who that was until I saw the picture, and he was running his mouth saying that it's a downgrade, right?
Mhm.
So, and that nigga, bro, that nigga has a lot of nuts to talk about downgrades because that man, bro, that man, I don't know how they made that man's face.
Damn.
I think the God was in his brown paper bag area there. We just threw him the balls that go and get.
Nah, at that stage, God was dealing with his leftovers. So he's like, okay, yeah.
No, man. Like, it's not even, don't want to rate a man's attractiveness or anything. It's not the man's ugly, but the man is just a weird looking nigga, man.
Damn.
He's a weird
Exactly.
looking nigga. He
But
looks like, remember,
uh,
remember though, that the thing on Cartoon Network, though, what's it, that cartoon, that flapjack thing that had the most weird things that showed up. He looks like one of the creatures that would come out of that thing.
Damn.
bro, he
But anyway,
looks like one of those monsters from Monsters Inc.
Make it stop.
The round one, the green one.
who's I would have gone. But anyway, that nigga was mouthing off, and obviously, uh, I don't know who set it up, but the security, he bypassed security, he bypassed everyone, and he came on set while they were recording another part, and then he came to check the nigga. And to be fair to the guy, he did kind of double down.
Nah,
He
but
did kind of double down, and it went back and forth.
uh-huh.
And the most surprising thing is that no hands were given.
But no, that was very smart for a reason because he came there to state his thing, and like for me, that's what you do as a nigga. It's like, of course, it's like if it's off camera, then yeah, hands. But then if you gave him hands on camera, then it would look like he's looking for a moment or whatever. But the main fact is that he sat there and he argued and he said no, he's trying to or he started invalidating all of his points. But my main thing was I don't think it was that guy who said it. I think it was the other guy who was quiet. That's what I keep saying on social media, that it was the guy who was quiet who said it, and now the reason was there he was quiet.
Yeah, the other nigga on the other side. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah,
But
but
my whole
yeah.
thing is this, and it comes to like the topic of niggas wanting candy. Because a lot of the takes I saw after that whole thing was niggas need to get a baddie so they don't have to explain. And every time Imam and remain, like she gotta be hot and niggas gotta say And my whole thing is, okay, granted, no one wants to get yo, Uncle Ruckus, man.
Jeez.
Jeez.
The nigga will use words he don't really know.
Yeah, get this.
Jeez. Yo, my English data bundles just ran out right quick. Nigga needs to go on the Vodacom app and get the advance just to finish it off. But anyway, too many niggas do things for other niggas, man. When you're choosing hands for what other niggas are gonna say,
It's not
we
even
don't
the
want wrong turns, but
uh,
we want something beautiful. But once it satisfies you and you're happy, why do you care what other niggas are gonna say?
it's not even that. Why are you busy discussing things about his woman? It's like, yes, I understand you're supposed to be like you're on a podcast, but it's just extending these stereotypes about podcasters and everything. But it's just like, bro, you're supposed to be on topic. Yes, you'll veer left and right. But then to me, it's just like when I saw the clip and stuff, I'm like, you're just trying to be your dad, McG. Like you just want to be like your daddy, like father, like son, Istana and Wayne. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to be
Uh,
more provocative, and it's like, bro, like I'm not even caping for a reason or his girlfriend or anything or Gigi Lamaine or anything, but it's just like, what
sure.
does that have to do with anything? In all honesty, like
You know what I think it has to do with us because South Africa. I wouldn't say me specifically. I don't watch Metri that often. Every now and again I tune in, but man, we're not beating the allegations anytime soon, eh? Like South
of liking
African average
things.
IQ. No, like our average IQ is 69, bro. Like the average IQ of South Africans is resting on borderline retarded. Like we're not beating the allegations anytime soon. Like we have such big problems, but you get someone like, well, however you feel about him, Penuel discusses actual issues. Maybe he might get it wrong, whatever, but he discusses actual issues. There's guys like Abo Sizwe and Bofu Walsh who try to discuss actual issues. There's a whole host. King David is another podcast I really like, discusses
Mhm.
actual issues. Niggas don't get those views. Mac G can get the sauciest, like the sauciest guests on. And instead of asking the questions you all want to know, he's going to ask, okay, what's your body count? Who have you fucked in the
Salacious.
industry?
Yeah,
Salacious
salacious
things.
shit. Yeah.
And the thing is, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't. The numbers tell us niggas want salacious shit. And the thing that pisses me off the most is when niggas come and gaslight us and say, how come everyone is always looking for attention? Bro, that type of shit sells.
It
Hot cakes, it
does.
flies off the shelves.
Gossip,
The
gossip
only reason,
definitely. Yeah, gossip definitely sells
exactly,
though. Yeah.
exactly. There's a reason why all real Kapoza and Fat Joe and niggas like that had careers, man. And even that, what's that guy, that gay guy, dog, that gay guy that, I don't know, he stabbed the nigga or he got
Musakaula,
stabbed.
yeah.
Yes. There's a reason why those niggas get lit. And about Chris XL, those niggas get lit because they are the representation of the population. They are
Yeah.
our mirror. What we choose to give attention to is what we'll get more of, and we'll get more copycats of that. There's why there are 100 niggas that sound like Drake. There's why there are 100 teams or so many teams that try to copy Real Madrid's strategy of just going out and getting Galacticos and buying everything off the shelf. People look at successful examples to decide what they do for themselves. And salacious, nonsensical shit is and the thing is, you can be salacious but sensational. They missing sensational. That's the problem. It's not sensational.
Now it's just you see, it's cool, no? Not cool as in
Mm,
cool, like it's a cool thing. But it's just like, okay, cool. If you're gonna do that, be prepared. And also number two, I don't think he bypassed no security. I think they invited him. Point blank simple,
yeah,
or whoever's in charge knew he was gonna be there, or he told the person who was
yeah,
in charge that he was there. He's been in the game
yeah.
since we were in primary school, so it's not
Of
hard for him
course,
to,
to
it's
pull
not hard
up.
for him to pull up or even have that kind of connection that allows him to, gain access into certain areas. But the main thing
Mm.
is just like, okay, cool. Yes, man stood on it a little bit. Pause. Oh no, that's not pausable, but
Stood on
yeah, I
it.
might as well
Oh,
just
that's a heavy pause, man.
He said it was gay, so what?
Considering how much cucks niggas are nowadays, standing on it is something some of them would actually like. But anyway,
facts,
Cook.
masochists. But yeah, bro, like I understand, like, okay, cool, man, still argue the points, but it's like, why is everyone else now sitting quiet? It's like, nah, when the person is there, discuss. So yes, I give the man who was actually replying and having the discussion more points than the people that were quiet, because now the people that were quiet, the chick and the guy, are now trying to seem like, I know I didn't do anything, blah blah blah. Nah,
Yeah, I
stand on
hate
it.
those types of niggas, man. I hate, and you see,
Mm.
Monsters Inc.
Damn.
Monsters Inc. As much as he talks shit, he's got the ingredients for a nigga that can take it all the way. Because if you're gonna talk shit and you can stand on business when it's time for it, you're gonna be a real nigga. I keep thinking about Charlemagne. Like Charlemagne is not the type of nigga to talk smack about you and then not do it when you're there. Because Charlemagne has talked smack to niggas' faces of dangerous niggas, like the Birdman thing. Bro, like Birdman is not someone to be played with. That niggas has shooters and he's from New Orleans. It's like murder capital, probably one of the murder capitals. And he even made Birdman crash out. Is we done or is we finished?
Yeah, but now Birdman, he also, it was like preempted. He hyped himself up before he went in, and then like that's the thing. It's like Envy's DJ Envy's hood instincts kicked in when he saw the energy. He's like, okay, sure, start recording now, because he could feel that Birdman was gonna do something weird. So like, nah, niggas knew, which I know Birdman came there with that kind of energy. But just to bring it back to that, I'm just like, bruh, I'm glad that man stood 10 toes, and also everyone's saying, "I no reason should have boxed them." Da, 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 da. Cool, do that off camera though, because now you're gonna be subjected to assault charges or whatever, because niggas will go and
Yeah. And
reports and stuff.
and and I'm glad you mentioned that. That also is like the 69 IQ allegations are not gonna beat. Guys, this thing of you're gonna hurt my feelings, I'm gonna fight you. That is the mentality of someone who has nothing to lose, right? That is the mentality of someone who doesn't have shit lined up for them. Like when you have shows, you have endorsement deals, you have brand deals, you're an ambassador for something. You do not do things and crash out and look forward to sitting in a holding cell over the weekend, bro. Like we have things to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly. Mhm.
another point that I kept hearing is that Mac G set him up, Mac G set up his employees, and I'm like, bro, Mac G is a businessman. Mac G is a businessman. If he sees an opportunity to create a viral moment, he's gonna take it. And one of the things, man, that I really realize is that once you are a celebrity or a public figure, you are public property, bro.
Exactly.
People can say what they want about you, they can think what they want about you, and up until the point that that actually tarnishes your brand and your business, everything goes. Because up to the point that it tarnishes your brand and business, then you're going to get them cease and desists. Then niggas are going to come after you. But in terms of just opinions, rumors, your takes, whatever, and you're a public opinion or you're a public figure, bro, you're public property. Niggas can think what they want, say what they want, whatever. And if you're not ready to take that, you're going to be crashing out a lot. You're going to have a lot of cease and desist on your table. You're going to have a lot of assault charges on your head, and you're going to fuck up your money. If you're going to get into the public game, understand that there's no such thing as bad attention, especially today. Like nowadays, there's no such thing as bad attention. People are trying to get lit and trying to get clout off of everything. Because if Reason slapped this nigga, I just know the businessman that is like, gee, he was going to lean into it. Possibly we could have even gotten like you remember Casper and that slick talk nigga, they would have gotten another boxing match. You would have believed, that like once you in that space of mind, you start thinking on those wavelengths. It's now, nothing is a wasted tragedy. There's no such thing as a wasted moment. Everything, you got to milk everything out of it.
Bro. And also, on Reason's end, he had every right to go there and say something because number one, you're talking about the mother of my children who has nothing to do with music. She's a presenter and I think she's also an actress and does other things. And then you talk about my current girlfriend. And also Gigi Lamaine is known for having, bruh, I remember years ago when she was, I think was tweeting on Twitter or something. She was tweeting about her mental health issues and how she's tried to harm herself and all those things. So now he has to now go. And people who keep saying, I know, oh, no reasons a loser for going there. He's not. It's because this is someone who is the baby mom, love. This is the mother of my children. So she'll always be attached to me no matter what anyone says. And this is my current girlfriend at the moment. She's attached to me at the moment. I won't go defend their honor. Yes, some people will just leave it and then let people go say some shit. But then he's the type of nigga that likes to go ahead and address things head on, and also apparently allegedly he has hands, so he knows that he's good either way no matter what happens in that situation. Not even that he's good, but in terms of he can stand his own ground when if push comes to shove, you know what I'm saying? But my main thing is like with people saying take podcast equipments away, my main thing is that I just want to say Ngeke Sizwe Ngani.
Sensational.
Ngeke Sizwe Ngani Buffett. Never.
Fuck no.
Never. We ain't going nowhere.
Sensational.
Sensational. Sensational. No, dog. And I think to close this all off, that whole play out was just the difference between streets mentality and just salacious Mkosi mentality and just being a real solid nigga mentality. Because if you looked at it from the frame of being a real nigga, he did some real shit. Same way with the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. You look at it from the opinion of being a solid gent. If someone talks some smack about your hand and you give him some hands, fine. I don't think it's the best thing, but fine. If you feel justified, go ahead. But then when we get to show business and Umkosi and streets mentality, that is kind of an L, because those type of situations, you only win if you either ignore it and people forget, or you cook something that is so devious that it starts a whole feud and then you win the feud. That's when you win, Gaku. Because he just came there and he just told them facts and he straightened them out. People are not tuning into Piano Pulse or Piano Culture, whatever it is, to hear reasonable facts. No pun intended.
Exactly. That's sensational.
But
sensational.
They're going there to hear bullshit that's going to stir up their chimp monkey brains.
Yeah.
Which is what that's there for.
Nah, man, it is what it is. South Africans absorb and take in a lot of contents that they only care about. It's like yesterday on Human Rights Day. It's Human Rights Day, we're supposed to be remembering the Sharpeville massacre, and then everyone's busy crying about our holidays being washed or whitewashed. But then it's like, why was everyone busy posting about what alcohol are you buying? Shows what alcohol you're buying. So whose fault is it? Ours or white people's?
Exactly. No, because it's obviously, look, when it comes to this thing, it's one team versus another. If you have a shit defense, can you blame the other team for scoring goals against you? Worse off when you have so many own goals. Because as an Otak, if it's we have own goals, bro. We have
Now we
Onana
have too
in the
many public
posts.
own goals, too many public
Bro,
own
yo, we
goals.
have a lot of them. And the thing is, they have own goals, but when it comes to their own goals, they cover them quick. Like
Bruh, this
us,
Afri-Forum nonsense and whatever Afrikaner nonsense, that is an own goal. It's just that's one they have backing
they
power, I
boost their
guess.
own goals. They back their own goals.
Exactly.
They'll even double down so much to make you even start to believe, is this actually an own goal? And then they'll hype you up, and then they'll get niggas from your team to back their own goals.
Exactly. They
To
do
the
a
point
Madrid and buy
when
your stars.
exactly. And then what works worse is that when Madrid buy your stars, you end up being a Madrid supporter because when Ronaldo left United, bro, them niggas follow them there. And it's exactly the same thing that happens here.
Reason. I was just gonna ask you, do you remember No Sleep remix that came out like I think it was like 2010 or 2009 or 2011, around that era? Money's awake, so we
Yo.
don't sleep.
I'm getting the feeling, I'm getting addicted to hearing good things about me. My rep is extended to generous measures, even when Tweeding announced me. And some are not even convinced at the heaters I spit, but I'm easy because this season the game is a circus with many a tricks, but none in the ring can clown me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, it had all the because isn't I think Reason was on Motif at the time. I forgot whose
Yeah,
record label it was. It was
yeah.
Reason, Stogie
Yeah.
T, or Ginger Trill, and also Moneo was on that song. Forgot who else, but yo, bruh, I remember listening to it like a month ago. I actually went through like a whole list of like South African hits, and I was like, shit, yes, we had so many good hip hop hits. It's just that people's attention, and rightly so, as artists, they moved to what was the next wave. And I really feel like Casper is actually the one that started the piano because I don't know if you remember the Sweets and Shorts album. That Casper,
Not
the one,
really.
the one that had the remote control song. That means
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that joint. That's where I feel like we
I
shifted.
don't necessarily think. I think Casper never necessarily shifted it to Amapiano. Obviously, Amapiano, the heavy hitters of the industry were moving that, but then I think it was Major League because Major League were always hip hop DJs and hip hop type niggas, and then when Major League started shifting, I think that's when everyone noticed the shift, and that was like even in like 2016, 17 times when that shift started happening. I remember like what's this guy? A Reese and Nasty C were on some, I'm a piano, I'll never do this, I'm never gonna change on this, I'm gonna stick to this. And it's like, yeah, it just happened, bro. And a lot of times where you look at the South African hip hop scene and you look at how absolutely decimated it is, it's like, bro, South Africa is a small industry. You gotta go where the paper is, or else you're gonna starve. And
Bruh.
9 times out of 10, it is the market that decides. It's the people. It's the people listening in. When you hear something of poor quality being repeated over and over again, it's because of that's what we asked for. That's what we give our attention to. That's what we enjoy. Man, I really did think that the 2010s and the late 2009s was probably the peak, or the late 2000s rather. It was the peak of SA hip hop. Like niggas who came
Nah,
from that generation, I think it
nah.
was. Like
I think
Pro Kid, like
nah,
like
like
from 2005 to 2015. Golden
I think
era.
that was the death of the lyricist because Abo AKA were doing All I Know, and then as time went on, AKA's like didn't really care about lyricism like that. So I guess lyricism in hip hop, yes, because Abo Stogie T, Abo Proverb, Abo all these guys were rapping Squatter Camp, what's this group? K.O. no my Tear Gas.
Tear gas, yes.
All these guys were making that, but then they are like deciding factors. Like Humalum Kulkati, bruh, he made everyone shift to Igrom from like 2014 to 2015, 16 before hip hop really started hitting. Because remember that song, Namangazi nje, Gizwengeto nje, Itsikwi. And then everyone tried to run with it. So
Yeah.
Babes actually came from that era. You know what I'm saying?
But I think, bro, one of the biggest misconceptions is that you have to do lyrical miracles on a specific type of flow to be lyrical. Because I think AKA kept his lyricism throughout. It's just that you had to become more melodic and you had to be able to embed your lyricism on like a more upbeat type of sound.
Aye, bruh.
Because
That man said, like a fish and chips or whatever he said, bruh. I know, but no, bro. Like they did. That's what I'm saying. At the peak of SA, I say the peak of SA hip hop was 2015, 2016, because or Questa were dropping hits in hip hop, even though you could hear he still has Kwaito influences and all of that. But then it's like, what's the joint of Fika Questa? Hi, mama. Chi.
Oh yeah, yeah, boy.
That
Yeah,
joint,
yeah,
Malum
yeah, boy.
Kulka destroyed them with his verse. That was a verse of the year at that time. You know what I'm saying? So people were still holding lyricism high, or to a certain extent, and then it got to a point where like, oh, okay,
Nastiest
cool.
time as well. Because I
Yes,
remember
yeah,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
Juice Back
Juice
niggas,
bag,
especially the
yeah.
remix. Oh my
Woo!
god.
Hey, Nasty
Oh my
washed. He
god.
washed two legends. He washed Davido and Casper Dog. Like washed
Bro,
them at the age of
bro.
what? How old were we then? Like 19.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And
Bruh.
for me, it's like it's almost a window in time, and it's fucking sad because there's so many guys who have the lyrical skill, but because that's not what niggas are looking for, it becomes a lost art. And even in hip hop in general, that's something that's a lost art. That's why, as much as niggas like to cook Kendrick and like to cook all these niggas who are rapping, I don't join in on that too much. I'll say a thing or two, but that's the art I appreciate. Bro. We can't change hip hop into something that's not. It was always about lyrics. It was always about your ability to incite things. But also at the same time, what I do like is like with the whole melodic rap type of shit is that you have to now bring your lyrical finesse with some
Yes.
type of a package. You gotta bring it in a package. That's why I like niggas like Drake. J. Cole right now is lyrical at a high level, but he brings it in a different package that still keeps you
He still,
engaged.
hey, bro, he
And
still
improv,
does melodies though. He's been doing
he
melodies.
still he has, but I'm saying that you have to your lyrical packaging. You need to present it in a specific way for it to hit. Because there's a lot of niggas who do that. There's been a couple of times, and this is going to sound like a wild take. There's a couple of times where even Lil Yachty has spit some shit, but he spit it in a way. But then most of his tracks are just throwaways. Like him and the Cardis and whatever of the worlds, they go out of their way to say dumb shit so that it's catchy. But I forgot the track. But there's a track, man, that he's just cooking so much. But it's like
Pardon me,
he
pardon me, that joins with Future.
not really. I think it's shells.
Oh, nah, I don't know his discography like that.
Yeah, no, it's not even an original because they took his verse and then they put it over another track and another beat and it sounds nasty. I
Yeah.
think maybe we should drop it there. I'll send it to you. You should drop it there for a couple of seconds so niggas can hear it. But it's fucking mad. But this is the thing is like niggas can be lyrical, but they know not to because that's gonna fuck with the bag. It's gonna mess with the bag.
N-
Because again, 69 IQ. Like Casper
Yeah.
said, don't waste your time. Cryptochronics. No. Sibunu ke Sibunu. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well, what's the
bro.
new one he dropped when he was on the Dubai Sands? Something man. Like that's what we want to hear. 69 IQ.
Hey, bro. It's ironic that you say 69. That's why I always laugh when you say that because all this country thinks about a six, so makes a lot of sense.
Yo. Too much. Too much. Even the
But
politicians, man. The amount of
facts,
ANC
yeah.
the amount of ANC hands or ANC, those aren't even hands, bro. Mama Gaban, that have got caught lacking, bro, on nudes and video. Bro, like I'm sure there has to be some type of because that when I saw like there's like 3 incidents in the past like 6 months of some hand in home affairs and then another one just recently her nudes dropped because she was chatting to a Nigerian nigga and then he leaked nudes and he wanted this. And then there was another one last year, and that lady was old, bro. And that one even made me feel bad. And like this is why I hate Twitter, because Twitter shows you things you don't want to see. Like, why would I want to see gray pubes, bro? That is like filthy. Like, but at this point, it's like, do you not see that you are security risk? You're giving your antique cookie out to some random Nigerian nigga, but we supposed to believe that state secrets are kept safe. Ah, what, bro? We in the dogs. Essentially,
Bro,
Buffett.
if your private parts aren't even private anymore, then our state secrets even secrets.
Ah, bro. Ah, it's vibes. It's vibes.
bruh. But speaking of South Africans outsourcing internationally, what is your opinion on digital nomads?
I think digital nomads are just they just are a fact of the future. That's how business is going to look like. And the digital nomad chat, man, it's two-sided, right? Obviously, if you are a brick and mortar, you still believe in the brick and mortar industrial economy, you're gonna get fucked because this thing of I'm gonna stay in South Africa because I work in South Africa and have a business built in South Africa, you're gonna get fucked, right? Because South Africa has advantages and disadvantages. And the thing with digital nomads is that they have functions from all over the world. They have, I think it's called global small businesses. So instead of you having a big office in Sandton or Mhlanga or Greenpoint, Sea Point, Central Cape Town that has an IT department and this department in the finance, you have a small business, you have an Indian, someone doing your coding, you have someone there who's doing this, and someone there who's doing that. And it's all very small teams, like three guys in India in a room. You don't have to worry about overheads. Three guys in Romania doing production, and you're always looking for the places with the best taxes, best rates, best this, best that. And that's where business is moving. And the thing is, if you are the local nigga who's put everything down locally, you screwed, bro.
Yeah, no,
You screwed.
that's very true because I feel like that's what the purpose of the pandemic was for. Not for normal civilians to now work remotely, but for those people that actually want to be mobile and move their business everywhere to actually do that. Because you know how, yes, them doing that destabilizes the economy because they bring in other currencies here, then they stop buying up everything. So to them it's cheaper, but then to us they're driving up all of the prices and things like that. But when I was watching that clip, or not clip, I watched a few minutes of that part that you sent, Diary of a CEO. And they were just busy saying
Gary
about,
Stevenson.
yes. And then they were saying, like, no, yes, it makes so much sense as to why the pandemic really aided in this, because it's like the main goal in general is to, of course, diminish the middle class and then make the what's above middle class? The rich, I guess. What's the proper
Yeah.
term? But anyway, yeah. Maybe you can add Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, we'll add him there.
The nigga will use words he don't really know.
But then like bruh, the rich now understand, okay, cool. I don't have to be mobile because let's say, for example, war happens or World War III happens to break out, or two countries are in conflict and then now they send not even nukes, just weapons and all of that. Now your building is destroyed. Now your business is on pause. That doesn't exist anymore because now why? Oh, Bezos has his AWS servers. Now you can record off of that all over the world, put these servers all over the world virtually on top of that, get people to look after it virtually. And of course, you need these data centers in every single country and in neighboring countries because you don't have to have it everywhere. But if you have one, let's say in Europe, and then that can service all of the neighboring countries and all of that. So you don't have to put too much money into that because it's centralized in one place. It can be fixed in one place. The security can be controlled in one place, and then you can just spread it out like that, and so on and so forth for all the other continents. So then now they realized, oh, okay, sure, we can be mobile, we can move things around, get our name around in terms of our business, and also add some leisure to it, get some property, do whatever we want to do in these other countries so that we can now at least enjoy our money, number one, and also grow it at the same time because we're everywhere at once, or we're basically everywhere at once. That's what I'm saying. See, remote work is now diminishing, of course, because companies are now saying, no, come back to the office because we have these big buildings and no one's in it. And now people try hybrid, but the hybrid is like shortened from 3 days in a week to 2 days out of the five type shit. So that's what I'm saying with these people. They're driving up the motherfucking economy everywhere around the world. It's not just us. Because now, have you seen who's in the US are now only complaining about eggs? Just only now, 2025. That was us in 2023.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
You know
And I
what I'm
remember
saying?
during COVID, those niggas were wilding out over toilet paper because they can't cover their shit.
No, that's true though. But like, I actually saw that live in real time. Because like, this other lady's like, I have 4 bathrooms. I'm like, you're fighting over toilet paper. Like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Like, I don't, but anyway, that's how stupid society
Panic.
is. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
man.
course.
One thing I'll say, obviously referencing that podcast from Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett did a great job. So I actually have been listening to both of the guys for a while. Obviously, the The chubby guy who's a multimillionaire is Daniel Priestley. Love his shits. Read a couple of his books. I think each nigga should read Key Influence or How to Build or Be a Key Influential Person, and then Entrepreneur Revolution. Those are great books, man. And just there's one of the points that blew my mind. Just humor me. So if you had 12 months and you could spend as much money as you want or whatever you wanted for 12 months, and someone was going to give you a check, the only caveat is that don't be greedy. You can ask for any amount of money for 12 months to spend on anything. Just don't be greedy. How much money would you ask for?
Well, that eliminates South Africans, so
Damn.
Oh shit. But I'm asking you physically, yeah.
for 12 months, I can do anything with it.
Yes. Just don't be, the caveat is don't be greedy.
I feel like even a million is greedy, but I'd say a million.
All right. So, like the first time I read the book, that question was posed. In my mind, I said 30 mil, right? And then the nigga goes on to say, if you ask for anything less than $1 billion, then you're a greedy, selfish bastard. And the simple thinking is that the reason why you've asked for $1 mil, 2 mil, or 3 mil, or 4 mil, or anything that you think is a baseline number is because of that caveat, don't be greedy. But we think of greed as in the amount of money, because we always think of the money as the resource that's the most important thing, whereas we should be thinking of the value. So he says people who asked for X figure under $1 billion are people who are most likely just thinking about how much money can I get to take care of my own needs.
Facts.
But if you're asking for over $1 billion, you're thinking about, okay, obviously my own needs and wants and car and house, whatever, that's way sorted. But how can I use this money to actually affect change in my macro environment? Because most people listening to this, if you put a number in your head, you probably thought of, okay, I need to buy my house, my car, have a little stashed away so I'm good. That's greedy. But he's like, if you create enough value that gives you all this money, you can now obviously take care of those needs that make you feel good. The car, the house, the watch, whatever. And then now the rest of that money, you can start shaping it and repurposing it so that it can affect families, societies, communities. And that's where I'm like, this guy, Daniel Priestley, he's not, I don't want to say he's not the typical rich guy, because every rich guy is a typical rich guy, but he does think in terms of value. And one of the things I really do like about the gents is that he always, in that podcast, Gary's obviously cooking him, saying, not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur, not everyone's going to do this, not everyone's going to do that. But the one thing that he says during the podcast, that I know people don't watch full podcasts like that. They just want the salacious shit where the niggas cooking the multi-millionaire and then they call it a day and move on. 69 IQ once again.
Mm.
But with the whole nomadic lifestyle and the thing that you just said, businesses are oftentimes like 20 or 30 years behind the trend. Big businesses, that is, right? It takes forever for a big business to pivot their whole operations to work a certain way. It was the same in the Industrial Revolution, back in farming and whatsoever. It was the same there, and it's going to be the same now. I think nomadic working is the way forward, because what the traditional form of industrial work does is that it makes people measure productivity in time and in money, which is not a good thing. You're supposed to measure productivity and how much shit you get done. So now you have a whole lot of niggas who could do something in 2 hours, but now that means that I'm going to be sitting for the rest of the work day or the work week being told to do more things that have nothing to do with me, so we drag everything out.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if we run lean, like everyone can work from home, you can actually now be your own business as an individual, unless you are obviously in, physical industries, like you actually have to build a
Physical
building. You
labor.
can't work from home from
Yeah.
that. Yeah. You can't even work from home if you're in like medical or delivery or whatever. But for most people who have office jobs, you can work from home and you can be your own business, and that you don't have to, you have services, you have things that you do every day. You can be an admin person here, you can be this person there. You could admin work for one company, do everything you needed to do in 3 hours, then work for the next company, do everything that you needed to do in 3 hours, and can do the same job for 3 different companies, basically, Unless you're dealing with data that is sensitive to that specific company, companies don't have to hire you full time. Like, for example, like the average call center person probably 7K, 6K. I'm just being super conservative. If you're not a supervisor, whatever, you're probably seeing that much money and you're sitting there all day. If you could plan out your time and you can do that for multiple different companies who just send you a script and you could work from anywhere at any time, how many other gigs can you get? How many other hours could you put in? And you could
But
stack your money. You could get that same amount 3 times over. Maybe the
but
example is off, but in many
yeah, yeah,
industries, you
yeah.
could.
No, I get your example, but in the same breath, it's because people don't have that drive. So you have no track record of proving that if I leave it to your own vices or your own devices, you're not actually going to get shit done. You're going to do it. You're going to do something that might take someone who actually wants to do it in 2 hours, or someone who actually wants to get something done in 2 hours or can get something done in 2 hours. This person will get that thing done in 8 hours. So my thing is like I'll add only a little bit of pushback to that is because you can't leave people to their own devices. Because it's like when we're all working from home in 2020, I don't know how many people said Uta, I know they were just chilling. Because I remember when we got back to the office, and then like I was looking at the stats, I was damn near the only person who was working like normally. And then I'm like, oh yes, I'm
Facts.
working way too fucking hard here because people were just chilling and not answering their teams and whatever, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
then it's
yeah.
like, okay, cool, if we give this person 1 billion, they really won't do shit with this. You know what I'm saying? So now it's how do you
Mm.
decide who gets this? Or you have to have a track record of proving that, okay, I have an idea of value. I've put certain things into motion, and this is what it can do on this scale that I have. Let's say you have, I'll just put out a random number, 500, not even 500K, 1 million. I have 1 million to work with, and then I generated, let's say, 20 just for shits and giggles, 20. So now you've proven
Sure.
that you can now multiply it times 20, and then now I can trust you with this billion because okay, cool, you're working on something. And also, as human beings, if you don't own something, you won't take pride in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what
Exactly.
level of ownership do people need to have to actually get their brains clicking in? So it's only those select few that can actually take that billion and then become those actual digital nomads where they can travel around and get shit done because their priority is getting shit done in terms of getting business done and whatever for the job. And then thereafter, then they can go do what they want. But then a lot of people will just overextend the time that they need for the shit that they want. It'll go from, okay, I can do this in 2 hours, so I can do this in six, I can do this in eight, and then it'll be like,
Yeah,
no, I'll just do
yeah,
it on
yeah.
Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
But like you said, most people still have an industrial mindset, and this is partly, not partly, mostly to do with our education system. Because our education system taught us that we cannot do things outside of the time we've been allocated. Imagine if you could speed run your schooling experience and you didn't have to go grade one, grade two, grade three, grade four. Like if you can finish the syllabus within 3 months or 4 months, move on. But from the beginning, we have been set where we have to finish things in an allotted time. If you are behind, you need remedial classes. If you are ahead, slow down. You're going to see that next year. And that for me, it's not how business works. No business says, okay, this year we're going to do this. And next year, no, because if you move like that, there's a business like, bro, we did that this morning. What's the next thing? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And that's why the time and money thinking is not the good one because it's productivity. Because if you are focused on creating value, you know that there's certain days where you're going to bust an 18-hour day, and there's certain days you're going to do a 3 hour day. But now, because we live in almost an industrial office culture, which was built off the factory templates, where you get in at 8, you punch in your clock, and you have to do so many units by the time 5:30 comes because you're doing the same repetitive work again and again. Obviously, it's going to work like that. But in an average work week, you know that one day if I bust 18 hours and then the next day I'm just doing something simple and it takes me 3 hours, niggas are not going to move it like that. Because on the 18-hour day, you're supposed to push 18 hours. Niggas will do the normal, 12 or 10 hours, and then they'll leave extra for the next day and leave extra for the next day. And then on the 2 hour day, where everything should just take 2 hours, people will just sit there and drag, have coffee because they know, well, if I finish this in 2 hours, I have to sit here for 8 hours doing jack shit. So that's why I'm saying that if we move to a value-based thing where it's like there's something I need to complete, I'm gonna get and do or use all the resources I need to complete it, we good. We complete that and then we move on. But that's just an interesting thing for me. I think like that, and that's why I think that in the next few coming years, if you think like that and you have opportunity, you're going to make a killing financially.
Of course, but like we both said, this thing only works for people who are serious about shit and actually have a plan as to how to grow something and not think for themselves. So like yeah, what you said from the book kind of makes sense, not kind of makes sense, it makes sense. But then in the same breath, it's like who's getting this thing done? What is the idea? They have to have the actual plan and the structure and all of that to now and also have proof that whatever they're doing works.
Yeah.
So then it
And
actually pushes them
resources and
forward.
opportunity.
Resources, yes,
Resources,
yes.
yeah, because the other gents, what he speaks about is also very true. Because he speaks about how, the hustle culture has killed niggas, man, from the Andrew Tate to everyone. Like, and it's so interesting, as someone who's in marketing to be able to see. Because there's another group of niggas who have like Andrew Tate ripoffs. I don't know if you heard of them. They're Dutch brothers, I think Onuha brothers.
No, I
So
haven't.
they did, you haven't. So they've been doing like the whole TikTok content where they're living soft life in Dubai, Rolls Royce Cullinan, Rolex watch, top villa in the middle of the Jumeirah district in Dubai. Everything is clicking off, and they tell you that they made it off the fashion brand icon, right? And then obviously they don't make it off that money, they're making it off the courses. So they sell you the flashy lifestyle, and then they tell you all the motivational shit. If you work an office job, you're never gonna do this. Nah, you and your ugly wife. Nah, yeah, I'm spending all this money, but you need to go check in with your boss so you can afford a coffee, blah, blah, blah. All that braggadocious shit. And then obviously niggas sign up for the course. The course teaches you fuck all, and then whatever. And then those niggas just got busted for drugs not so long ago. And they got busted in Dubai, beheading Hafid.
Worst. Yeah. Worst place to
Worst,
get
bro.
busted.
And my thing is that whole system of dangling the carrots of lifestyle and wealth, then selling you like a course or some bullshit product up front, and then having something going on in the back. It's like the same system that people have been using. The baddies do it. Because we all know baddies are not making these money off of these stupid deals. You can't tell me that
Never.
Han is going to Santorini, Greece because she does iced tea.
Or
She
YouTube
does iced tea
tutorials.
and YouTube tutorials and brutal fruit. You do makeup tutorials with 10,000 subscribers and you do short brutal fruit things. You're not going to Santorini like that. You're going to Santorini because you're selling bumps.
That's
Bands.
simple. It's really that
And and
simple.
that and the thing is that's created this deception. Oh, not even it's a mild deception, but it's a perception in people's minds that we all need to be entrepreneurs. And then all those quotes come up. A salary is the money they pay you to forget your dreams, and this and that. Guys, the economy does not work like that. If we all get to be entrepreneurs, we're all not going to be millionaires. A lot of your businesses are going to fail, and not every one
Exactly.
of you is going to be a millionaire. And for the economy to work, you need doctors, you need artisans, you need this, you need that. And
Yes.
I
You
think
actually need
one of the things
society.
that you need society to work. And one of the things he says is that it's not normal for someone who has a perfectly full-time job to not be able to afford all the amenities they need in life, like your rent and whatever, whatever. And my chat is he's absolutely right. But I think sometimes over the podcast, one, he didn't hear the other guy out, and two, it's not very solutions focused because this guy is like, you're never going to be a millionaire. I think people are different. One thing I'll start with is that thankfully for my parents, they set me up. Good education, good schools, whatever. A lot of people don't have that. And I think the most important thing with this whole conversation is to be very specific to your own situation.
True.
Because
Very, very true.
niggas fall for the dangling carrot too much without knowing all the facts. People will come on and tell you the rags to riches story, but they'll leave out the parts where, no, my dad was actually a VP at the company and he got me my first project. Or he'll leave out the part where he was dealing drugs for like 5 years and he's only been legit for once and he's been using all that money to fund whatever business he's selling you right now. And it's like people need to stop being so gullible.
Yeah, but
A lot of people are gullible, man.
it's never gonna stop because those gullible people are the people who are buying and using the products that the rich people sell either way. So that's gonna work. But then on the tip of not everyone's gonna be a millionaire, yes, there's a lot of people who are set up in life, but then in the same breath, there are anomalies. And now everyone isn't an anomaly. Of course, like a few rappers or not even rappers, musicians, a few musicians are anomalies. Athletes are also anomalies that made it out of whatever neighborhood they came from and everything like that. So when you're not from an actual stable background and who have parents who set you up, you have to now it's not even like put in the work in terms of if you work hard enough you're gonna get here. It's now everyone's not, it's not even an age thing anymore. You don't have to be grown to understand that that's not how life works anymore. And it's also not even a thing of who you know anymore, because you can know someone but then you can still suck. Because how many times have you seen niggas come in via favor, get put in at a certain level, fuck up, and then now, even though they still keep the same position and the same salary, they'll never go higher or they'll never go lower. It's just that someone's looking out for them
Yeah,
that's above them, but then they'll just stay right there because they fuck up the actual flow of the business and the actual money. Then someone else has to be burdened and most likely earning worse than that person to now take over that job or that role of that person that's not doing shit or that doesn't know what to do. And then now they basically have a typical quotes unquote vacation, but it's not going to last quite that long. You can't really last 10 years off of mediocrity. I won't lie to you, unless it's like a
right.
real family business. But in the same breath, I was watching this show called, I think it's called Paradise. I think that's what it's called, if I'm not wrong.
Mm,
But then this
mm,
show, basically in a nutshell, so the world went into like no, there was like some volcanic explosion or whatever. And then
mm,
the US forecasted it's like years ago. So they built like an underground bunker or an underground city, basically. They built an underground city for, yeah, it is called Paradise. They built an underground city, and yeah, well, it just has an artificial sun and all that shit, so that when shit hits the fan, people go there. Yes, Secret Service and all of their families are all going there. But the main thing is that the presidency, he was the son of a billionaire. So Manjiga growing up, when the president was in varsity, he told his father would say no, he wants to go into teaching. And then his father was like, I'll be damned if you do that. So I built all of this shit for you to just go do some low level shit. You're supposed to be destined for greatness. You're one of us, yeah, about type shit, or you're from me, basically. So eventually man's worked and then became president, but he was one of those quote unquote cool presidents where he'd always be making jokes and then he'd get the where the country is placed wrong and all of that shit. So it's not saying that he made bad decisions, but then in the same breath, his emotions kind of took over where he'd feel bad for certain people. And then also a thing of we should, because of course, when you have that kind of operation, you also need to hide some things from the public, because if you don't do that, it's going to cause hysteria. Look at what happened in 2020. So
facts.
when they did that, and then he was there on some, no, I'm going to tell everyone the truth, and then the advisor lady was just like, what do you think is going to happen when you do that? So you need people who have that grits, even though like you can still have people from good homes or from great homes or from homes with a lot of money that still have that grits and still have that determination to get shit done. But then there's also that side where they grew up so soft that they now have the time and energy to think of everyone else. Whereas, okay, I have to think of the greater good of people in general, no matter how gritty I have to get, or no matter how dangerous it has to get for me to get this done, but it has to be covered up just to not make sure, or just to make sure that people don't go crazy. But then it's for the greater good of the basically of the underground city. But if we're talking about today's age, it's a greater good for the actual country. So if now, let's say our secrets in SA came out and then we're like, okay, we had to kill this politician in order for something to happen. What if this politician was going to make some shit or was going to do some shit that, yes, was going to help every individual, but then in the same breath was going to crumble our economy? You know what I'm saying?
I think what you're describing is the difficulty of leadership because people always like I hate saying the 69 IQ shit again, but some people are just meant to be pencil pushers. Some people are just meant to are just meant for greater things, and some people are not. And it's unfair, but we all born with different abilities. And this shit sounds fucking terrible, but everyone can do better and everyone can do worse. For everyone, no matter how great your situation is, there's someone who's got it better, and no matter how bad your situation is, someone has got it worse. So as much as we can all complain about what we have been given and not given, which are valid points. Some people have been given a leg up. Some people were born a centimeter away from the finish line. Some people were born 3 laps away from the finish line. But at the end of the day, man, we can spend time talking about what we have or don't have, or we can spend time getting to it. And on that point on inheritance and shit, like One of the things I read up on is just stats on millionaires. And you know that of all dollar millionaires in the world right now, 65% of them are self-made. So 65% of them came into the wealth. Most millionaires actually created that in their lifetime. And
Mm.
of the people who are second or third generation, 68% of them drop out. So it's either they slightly decrease or they go to abject poverty within a generation or two, which means that generational wealth isn't that generational because somewhere along the line,
Someone's gonna fuck
is
up.
gonna fuck up. Someone's going to fumble the through pass and not put it in the back of the goal. And that for me, kind of obviously we know what's going on in the world and people are just struggling to survive and get by. But in my perspective, it kind of gives me not necessarily hope, but it gives me peace to know that things are kind of equal. On a long enough time horizon, everything is equal, bro. If you got something out the mud, no one can take it from you. If you got it soft, you're gonna fumble because you don't understand or appreciate the difficulty of this thing that you get easily is.
Bruh.
So in the same breath, man, it's like if you had to give everyone in the world 1 billion, obviously it's not possible because that's not how the economy works, but work with me in a situation where you were or you could. People
Bruh.
who are value oriented would
Mhm.
end up with all the money within less than 6 months.
True. But bro, like like the famous, I don't know if it's even a Red Pill saying, but that's when I started seeing it come up. The famous Red Pill saying is hard times create strong men. Oh no, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, some shit like that.
And then weak men create hard times.
Weak men creates
And
hard
then
times. Mm.
and then even the more strong, prolific, and sensational saying by Thea Bavaria himself is that name me a great man who's the son of a great man.
Sensational.
Mm. Mm. I'm actually trying to think and no
Bro,
one's really coming up.
there's a handful, there's a
Literally a
really
handful.
small
5%.
handful of guys who come from good and do better. Like, for
Yeah.
example, I can drop, like in football, I can drop maybe I don't even think Helen counts because his dad he
It was
was a
okay.
typical, he's an average, he
Yeah.
was okay. I think the only guy that I could say is probably Maldini, because Paolo Maldini's dad was Cesare Maldini, he was top defender, and then Paolo went and did better. Then Thuram also, obviously Lilian Thuram at Juve, and then both his sons. Like imagine both your sons are born at a top level. Because you've got Marcus Thuram at Inter, and then you've got Kefren Thuram at Juve, and they're all both, they're starters, they're all killing it. So for me, it's very difficult for you to go and create something, get it out the mud, and also give the resources and the drive to your kids.
Yes, that's actually a very important thing because a lot of people will create the life and then they're so used to doing everything themselves, and then they automatically think, "How you have my blood, you have my DNA, you're supposed to just get it yourself." No, teach. Teach as much as you're
Teach.
giving the resources, but teach and show them how to get things done. I know we've said this on the pod a few times, and I say this every episode, but we drop so many gems. We're way too sensational. But then
Sensational.
it's just a thing of,
Sensational, bro. Too
bruh,
sensational.
way
Sensational.
too sensational. But it's just a thing
World's
of,
most sensational podcast for a reason. It's the world's most sensational podcast for a damn reason.
Sensational.
exactly. My thing is like from young, have them come to the office. Yes, they're gonna play around, but then at some stage when they're teenagers, start from young and say, it's okay, sure, I do one, no two, no three. Yes, it's gonna be very hard on certain employees because then they have to now babysit, or maybe the secretary has to now babysit, or if you want them to learn finance, they have to go babysit the child, and then the child is usually on some brat type shit. But then if the child, like, bruh, look at Trump now. I wouldn't say his parents are from greatness, but then in the same breath, it's like, okay, Trump took that million and could have fumbled it. The loan. He could have
Yeah, that's
fumbled that
true.
loan. You know what I'm saying? Especially back then. Back then, those of us that were born, let's say in the 90s onwards, we think back then it was just so easy to do shit. It wasn't. Niggas had to really create things because everything that we have now was created in the 19 or most of it was created in the 1900s. Cars, this, that, and transports, road. Okay, not roads exactly, but the type of roads we have now. Every small thing that we have, fans, all of this shit was created in the
So
1900s.
I think just to tighten up that statement, Not that everything was created in the 1900s, but in the past 50 years, everything has been refined to a great level. Like the amount of growth we've seen in the past 50 years surpasses the amount of growth that we've seen in the past like 500 years.
Exactly. We've accelerated society a lot
Mm,
in the last 100 years,
yeah.
actually, the last 100 years, in terms of the physical things that we have. But I say all that to say is that it's cool. Back then, Trump had busy tripping here. Trump, Uncle Ruckus.
The nigga will use words he don't really know.
Hey, thank you, Uncle Ruckus and Kane, for correcting my English there. But basically, what I was trying to say was that Trump was born in a time where it was mad difficult to make shit out of anything. Even if you had the money, he could have blown it in either way or any way. So he went ahead and made shit happen. A lot of people have gotten that kind of opportunity, and especially in this day and age, you can't give a young person, you can't give a 20-something-year-old $1 million, dollars, whatever the currency is, because that shit's going to things that they can flash around on Instagram, wherever. So I feel like niggas like that had the determination, had the idea. Their parents saw, or let's say specifically with Trump, his dad saw his vision, or he'd say to, okay, sure, you're serious about your shit. Here's the money, and go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I think, a lot of times, when you don't have it like that, because whether you like it or not, we all inherit something. Some of us inherit great shit from what choices our fathers and forefathers make, and some of us inherit some absolute disaster and chaos. And from the moment we come out the womb, we come out the womb fighting. No breaks, no help, and you gotta make something of whatever you've got yourself, right? And I think sometimes now I know this is going to be a wild take. Sometimes we overrate the resources part of inheritance. I think as much as I can be glad that even both of us, actually, all of us that on the spot, we can be grateful for. We can be grateful for some of the material things that we inherited or our parents set up for us. But I think the most important thing is the ism, man. The ism is the most important thing you can inherit from your parents because
Mm.
there's a lot of niggas I went to school with, politicians' kids, fathers or family were in business for so many years, and they're still relatively okay financially, but bro, their lives are chaos, bro. Oh, their lives are fucking chaos. They pissed it away in one way after the other, man. Like without giving too much information, I know a hun, bro, who's now got two kids by some drug dealing nigga, and she's consistently in and out of that nigga's crib and always has to go back home to have a place to stay. And they don't even want her there, but they kind of do it, and then they kick her out again, and it's a madness, bro. And this person's family is worth they're worth millions, man. And and every time I look at this, it's like I think of what my pop said. It's like, yo, growing up, man, we could have given you niggas everything, but I'm glad we didn't. We opted to make sure you have to earn each and everything. Yeah, you niggas are soft and you sports and your upbringings are not as hard as ours, but we needed to give you something that lets you know. Because as a parent, the biggest failure is you approaching the winters of your life without your kid able to fend for themselves. Now that's a failure. Not buying your kid the newest phone, the newest iPhone, or the newest this or that, bro. That's not failure. That's just part of life. But you failing to make sure that your own kid or your son or your daughter cannot make decisions of their own or be their own adults, that's real failure. And that for me,
True.
it's so real when we just look at the world the way it is right now.
Bruh. And also, I just want to bring it back a little bit to what we were saying
Sure.
earlier. Yes, the most or the thing from the pod of the Diary of the CEO that kind of like got me the most is that I think it was from that one, or I think I read it somewhere. I think it was from that pod where they were
Yeah.
talking about how baby boomers, basically our parents, they came from a difficult time of wherever they were, whether if it was overseas in terms of war
Wait,
or
sorry to cut you, dog.
yeah.
Our parents are not baby boomers. Our parents are Gen X, but I get what you're
Really?
saying. Baby boomers are like, yeah. Our parents are Gen X. Baby boomers are like kids that were born in the 40s, straight after the war. Our
I will.
parents are like the 60s, the
No, your
60s,
parents are the
70s.
60s. My dad is his 50s.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like my dad is like 10 years older than your ends. But yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, but my main point is that the things that were important to them back then, they're trying to pass it down to us now. Like, for example, land. Yes, owning your own land is very important. But in this day and
Sure,
age where we're
sure.
going digital, is it that, or is it really your number one priority? Is owning a house really a number one priority if you don't have a family, or if you're not planning on having a family? So it's like they're passing down, yes, it's great knowledge to have, but then they're passing us down knowledge that's they had growing up that in their time really made sense that they had to get because they didn't own shit or they weren't even allowed to own shit. So
Yeah, facts.
now that we can, yes, it's a great thing if you want to build a family, to own a home, to own land and all of that. Make sure you have things correct. Not even if you have a family, because me personally, I don't want to hear baddies come home like I did. I don't hear baddies come home from the club or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, bruh, I'd rather
Or your neighbor upstairs dragging chairs at 3 a.m., bro.
or clapping cheeks, Jay. Anything of that sort.
Woo.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I hear
saying?
you.
So I'd rather
I
like
hear you.
hear my neighbor's music or smell the pride and then have that neighborly thing rather than having whoever in and out. Like this tenant can move out and move in. Yes, as a young adult,
Yeah,
cool,
I hear
go ahead
that.
and do it, but that's just my preference. But in this day and age where everything's going digital and our priorities are changing, the question that I'm gonna pose that I don't even have the answer to is that is buying land, is ownership of a house or a home or is it really number one on our list for our generation?
So I'll break this up. Like from the pure points of home ownership, from just a pure points of somewhere to stay, I don't think it's the most important thing because one of the most miscalculated things is that home ownership is an asset. It's actually not. It's actually an expense because when you own a home, it's not generating any income. You live in it, you use it,
Exactly.
right?
And you pour money into it.
So you pour money into it to maintain. When something cracks, you got to fix this. So like from an education, like a finance education perspective, I don't think home ownership as per se is a asset because people do this thing where they're like, okay, I bought my home 20 years ago, it was 200,000, now it's 2 million, so I made 800,000. Not necessarily true because first and foremost, just upfront costs like to sell a home, real estate, all the licensing, everything, this deal, that deal. By the time you section it off, probably off of that 2 mil, you're probably going to cut off another 150 to 200 just in fees and whatever, right?
Mm,
So that thing of I made 1.8 million of my home over 20 years. Also, you don't factor in the fact that over that 20 years, you've done renovations, you've done this, you've done that, you've paid rent, like add all that up to that transaction and then have that conversation. That's one. The other side of the conversation is that like I think land ownership isn't always about living and a place to stay. And I think in parts that's like some of our lack of imagination. That's some of that 69 IQ showing up again. Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
mm.
But land is a profit generating asset because when you own land, you own everything that's on it and everything that's in it. If you're talking about land in Africa and you have hectares, that's a potential to grow food. That's probably if some type of mining rights come up in the future and some resources are discovered there, it's access to those mining rights. It's also a place for operations to happen. And with the digital thing, I think we need to be careful sometimes of the digital thing. And I know it sounds almost like a contradiction of what I said earlier, but digital economy is propped up by the actual economy. Because without an actual economy of products and services actually being produced and actually being delivered, the digital economy doesn't mean anything.
Yes. And it's also
Because
not
the
stable
digital,
still.
yeah, because for you to have a head office or work from home, you need to have a business. Whether you are in the oil business, you need to have a business that has a refinery that is making or doing something. A purely digital economy with no actual brick and mortar services or products cannot exist. So, like, I think this is where part of this thing we got caught up in the hype because ownership is what determines wealth. Because if you own an asset, you can leverage it against something else. Another example is if you want to transition from like whatever land you have and you want to get a business or you want to get a business loan, you could use that land as collateral to fund whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
physically having something of worth is important. And I think low key, like the social media age has duped us into thinking that having land is just a pure expense. It's only a pure expense if you're not doing anything with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And also, in the same breath, I feel like the world in general, not skipped, we flew over the fourth industrial revolution to the point where now we're talking about the fifth. Because as much as now, I don't even know when it even started. I feel like the whoever's at the top or the cabal or whoever said, okay, industrial revolution boomed 2020 and ended 2021. Let's move on to the next to the fifth industrial revolution. That's where they're promoting the use of robots, AI, and all of those things. But then fourth industrial revolution was just mainly centralized around technology and basically the base of AI because AI been existed. I feel like CGI and stuff is AI that's been
Yeah,
existed. About Lindsay Lohan and them used it in the 90s to create twins and all of
yeah,
those
yeah. It's
things.
been existing. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. It's just that
for
we now have
sure.
access to it, but we skipped over that, and that's just gonna fuck us up going towards or going in the future. Because as I'm not trying to even fearmonger, but it feels like cool. The world is itching for war, and about the Kremlin and everyone else, they're keeping their eyes and ears very open to whatever anyone else is doing and the sudden movements that other countries are doing. Yes, it may seem like not seem like it's Trump is aggravating a lot of countries and all of that, on the flip side, he may be trying to just strengthen his own country and more specifically rich people in his country and to dive deeper white people in his country, but that's another story for another day. But the fact that we skipped not skipped, but the fact that we glazed over the fourth industrial revolution is going to fuck us up because we didn't actually necessarily integrate into technology to that point because only now small parts of AI are being generated, but then it's still fucking up. It's still, you know, when you call, a call center or customer service for something, and then you say, okay, I want this, and then it says, okay, but do you want this? You say yes. Okay, but do you want this? You say yes. You're gonna keep going over and over and over again. We haven't even perfected something that's simple yet. And then now we already think of the fifth industrial revolution. So it's gonna fuck us up somewhere in between or somewhere in the future in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years. And I feel like that's just really gonna not really crumble the economy because right now the economy is doing its own fuck shit. But the economy will get better. But then the fact that we skipped a very important part, I won't say the third industrial revolution, that's where a lot of shit was laid down. We were able to get a lot of shit done in the past from like, let's say, from the 90s to
1800s, 1800s, because the first, oh yeah, first industrial revolution was the 1800s. Second
1800s.
was,
Yes.
yeah, the second was somewhere around World War II and the baby boomers. The third was obviously in the 90s with the coming of the internet. And the fourth, we kind of still in the middle of the fourth. Because I'm glad you said about integration, because the fourth industrial revolution is half reality, half of a pipe dream. Because with the fourth industrial revolution, you can't really say we've gone through it until the energy crisis has been sorted because the fourth
Facts.
industrial revolution is very energy intensive. Like we still have energy like problems, bro. Like you can't run a fully decentralized AI unit or data center with something like that. Like even the data centers right now that are going up, one of the risk mitigation strategies are alternate power sources because if that thing goes down, it takes so much to get it up again and everything works on everything. And in those, like if it goes down for a few minutes, bro, your that business is basically
It's
screwed
fucked.
because you just know
Yeah.
there's a competitor right behind you, and all your data protection and everything is right there. And one of the things, man, that with the fourth industrial revolution and things of that nature, it's like the transference of skills, bro. Because once you move from like a revolution suggests something is changing if you're
Hmm.
moving from one phase to a next phase, bro, there's a lot of people who are depending on the previous phase that aren't yet given the skills to go on to the next one. And even within the third industrial revolution, where we're halfway there, halfway in that, it's like so many people are still left out of that. So many people don't have the skills to make a living in that one or to get by in that one. And then we go to the next one, and more people are left out. And I think once we get to AI and computing, it's like most people's functions can be replaced. No matter if you IT, whatever, whatever, whatever. I think the next phase of this whole thing is, like I said, people being their own businesses and you using AI to make all your functions lean and effective and efficient and low cost and cost effective. Because before, you'd have to have an accountant, you have to have this, that, and hire all these people and have an office where all these people go every day to do this. Now I can hire AI, get an Indian in India who's going to code for this much, If I need to do something else, go to do it in Nigeria, do this, go to an, now entire departments can be reduced to one guy and an AI system, two guys and an AI system. That's a whole department, it's a whole team. So
Right.
for me, it's like
Uh-huh.
niggas who are paying attention can see that, hey, we can make a killing here. But the thing is, most aren't, and most are going to get left out, and that's where shit gets scary.
Yes, and also to the point that our biggest issue in life in general, I feel like it's getting worse as times go on. It's just basically security, whether it be online security
Mm,
or even physical security.
mm,
We're always going to have an issue with
mm,
security because if you talk to your parents
mm.
about how it was in society back then, they would say, yes, there was crime and everything, but it wasn't this bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
There were a lot of breaches of companies or let's say mining companies or whatever. But now where people hack and everything, they demand Bitcoin or they release your files or whatever. That's getting even worse. It's because now I also feel like people aren't taking that thing of hiring black hat hackers, basically. I think it's black hats because white hat hackers, these are the guys that are actually, trained to, keep your shit together and all of that. But then a black hat hackers, these guys that go ahead and, hold your company for ransom. And if you watch any super villain type-ish movie or a heavily political movie, the most dangerous person is held captive, but is still helping. So then they say, we'll
Yeah,
only
yeah,
give you
yeah,
this
yeah,
if you help because you have now bypassed our systems, whether it's physical or technological. So now, in order for you to gain your freedom, help us with this, or you can work for us and then, sustain the shit because you think like every other attacker. So security is just one thing that we'll never have down packed, especially right now with AI. Security is just all over the place. People are still allowed to generate whatever they want, and then people are going to take it as is. You know what I'm saying? So we're
facts,
still in
facts.
major trouble about that.
Yeah, but like you're saying, man, even security and financial security, to go back to the pod or the clip that started this whole conversation, it's like people's financial security is in the dumps and it's gonna keep going down in the dumps because consistently year after year, people are getting poorer and poorer, even though the number on your salary sheet or on your payslip is going up because your payslip is going up by so much percent, but the overall inflation and the overall cost of living is going up by a bigger percent. So you're making more than your parents did, but you're earning less than they ever did to keep up with the same, living standard and the same quality of life. And one of the things Gary Stevenson, he mentioned, he was going on and on about how this hustle economy and this beautiful, fantastical thing that we've painted that everyone can be rich and millionaires and the Instagram lifestyle is that it's like it creates this thing called embarrassed millionaires, right? And basically an embarrassed millionaire is someone who is broke, who's not a millionaire, and they stand up for millionaires because they hope that one day they'll also be one. And that's like
Yeah.
the funniest thing happened. Like a nigga who's living with his moms, bro, arguing with niggas trying to defend Elon Musk's honor, bro. Because in his mind, at some point, no, we can't raise Elon Musk's taxes. What about the? It's like in his mind he thinks one day he'll be one, and I'm like, and it's also this thing, bro, that's actually kind of fucked up, but it's funny that when you talk about money on online and on Twitter, bro, it becomes so obvious that so many people have never worked or earned a day in their life
Facts.
because I remember there was a time where on Twitter people were like looking at if you make 50K a month, that's small money. And 50K
Insanity.
is nothing. And I'm like, bro, that lets me know that you never worked a day in your life. Like, granted, yes, 50K is not a lot. It's really not a lot.
But you can
Worse off
achieve
if
a
you,
lot though.
yeah, but it's not even that. It's the percentage of people who are actually making that makes
Very
me
low.
laugh because it's
Mm.
a very low percentage. It's not a lot, sure, but bro, there's so little people are making that. And me talking to you on Twitter, even if you're a faceless account, I can tell by your reasoning, bro, you're not making that. Yeah, you're not making that.
Bruh.
You're not making that at all.
It's
And
facts
it
because
shows that so many of our young people are left out of the economic system that they can make up fantasies and hypotheticals about
facts. Nice callback to last episode.
it.
Bruh. But just on the topic of financial literacy, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Alveira.
Aviero.
Alvero, yeah. Saying it's Alvero, yeah. You see, That is financial literacy. Bro,
Bro,
I'm gonna now use that
bro.
line. We need that click.
Y yo le digo siempre, poner el click.
I'm gonna start to use that
Yeah,
shit,
we need that click. We need
bro,
that click.
because he is not stupid. We are Chevelle would say, okay, sure,
Woo.
you gave me kids, or he's saying to his, or basically, in a nutshell, what happened was that I think they were in an interview, right?
Yeah, him and what's his name? Georgia, whatever.
His girlfriend,
Georgia. Yeah, hey, smoky thing though. But anyway, continue.
bro. I think they have 3 children together, and then Junior
Mm.
is another woman's son.
He was made. He was made in the lab alongside the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, Project Mbappe. Okay, yeah. He's the
Yeah, yeah,
Project
yeah,
Mbappe of
yeah.
the family. Cool. So, Ngeke, he's saying basically, they were, or he was asked Utaibo, when you're gonna marry her, and then he continued to explain in a nutshell that they just need. He told her that they need to find that click, and then
That click, yeah.
everyone online was up in
Wild it
arms.
out,
And the funniest thing
bro.
is just last week, my bad. The funniest thing is that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just last week they were saying marriage benefits men. Like I hate the delusion.
Yes, yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? I hate the delusion of,
Sensational.
Sensational.
I hate the delusion of people, more specifically women online, because like you said, even with the money talk you were just saying just now, is that you were never married, number one. Number two, how does it benefit the man when you get half of what he earned? And more likely than not, he earned more than you. There's very few men that can get half of, or that can either marry a richer woman, number one, or even get half of her shit. So
There we go.
why bring in all these hypotheticals of yeah, because even some people say yeah, the woman passed the man the card just to bring us honor, what da, da, da. But what they don't say, or basically what people don't do, is provide context. It could have just been a bad month, and then they had agreed that she was going to pay for whatever meal that was, or whatever
Thank
it is
you.
that they needed to do.
Thank you.
It was a once-off
And
thing,
even,
or 2 3 months
bro,
off. Yeah.
even the 23K thing of that doctor and the Nigerian husband and the Beamer, not the Beamer, the Benz and all of that. It's like when a woman pays for something and it goes wrong, it's this huge tragedy. But niggas are doing that every day. Niggas are paying for dates. Niggas are taking money out every day and still getting finessed and still getting cooked, and it's just business as usual. And that's where for me, I'm like, yeah, man, you can't listen to those people. That's not getting it over.
Bruh. And also, someone made a joke and said, like, because everyone was busy complaining about what Cristiano said. And then someone replied and said, the reason why he said that is because he doesn't want to go from CR7 to CR3.5.
No,
Boy.
no, even better. Not even better, bro. Yeah, he's still waiting for someone to click with him the same way Özil did when he was still at Madrid.
Facts. Trust the process, bro.
Because she wasn't with him shooting in the gym, bro. Özil was giving him through passes. She's never given him a through pass that tasty.
Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Huh? Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Bruh, that's what I'm
Never
saying.
gonna click.
The only person who can say would say they were in the gym was Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, and she deserves every single penny that she got because she helped build the empire. She did the groundwork and all
Facts.
of that while helping him. That makes a lot of sense. I'm sure there's a lot of other women, but it's not that many as much as they like to try and make it seem like online. So Njeo Cristiano is just
No,
saying, hey, I'm protecting my assets. I'm a billionaire. And these are my assets that I've brought into this. Yes, she might have had less than me. Yes, she has my children on top of that. However, marriage is very binding, even if he has a prenup or whatever, the every law system, as much as they would like to claim that it doesn't, the law system favors women a lot, especially in terms of
yeah,
marriage.
yeah,
Especially in terms
yeah.
of marriage.
In family courts, it really does. And custody for the kids and the payments of child support and all that. And also the funniest thing, bro, the funniest thing is that just a couple of weeks ago when the whole Shump and Tiana, what's it, Tiana Taylor and Shump
Iman
came
Trumpets.
out.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. They were all going on about, yo, yeah, yeah, marriage. Yeah, she had his kids. She deserves this. She deserves that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now Cristiano, they're trying to paint him as some type of a deadbeat, like he's doing wrong by this woman. This woman was like making what, $2 an hour when he found her? He elevated her lifestyle in every single way.
Bruh. And mind
Elevated
you,
her, and he's still
facts.
present. He's a present father. He's doing everything. All he hasn't done is just put a ring on her finger. He's still taking care of you. Like, what more would you want?
Exactly. And facts, like you just said about Tiana and Iman Trumpet, who Iman Trumpet was a basketball player. I think he's retired now, or he must be retired now. And then Tiana Taylor was a child actor or teen actor all the way up until now. And Singanje, she just was grew up in the entertainment industry. So both of them could afford, and even Tiana came out and said, hey, the both of us could afford things. There are things that we both, or there are, especially with their properties that we both built together. And when I get two of this and he gets two of that, she admitted that she even said women should stop this thing online of saying, I know you got what you
But like,
deserve.
that's
No,
when they were good, but that was when
of
they were
course.
good, obviously.
No,
You
of
know
course.
that the story changes, though.
No. Here's the thing. Even Tiana admitted and said it would say women online should stop this thing of saying, I know, girl, you got what you deserved. It's not what I deserved. It's what I invested in. It's what I built in with him. So I got my half. He got his half. There's nothing saying that he didn't. It's just that his side didn't come out and say what he got. They only said what she got. And what she got is literally just half of what they put in together. And basically you have to write down your assets and whatever. The Rolls Royce and all those things. I think it was a Rolls Royce. But Njay, all of those little assets on Njay, just the physical, the tangibles, she got what she came in with. It's just that they listed it. And because she could afford it, it seemed like it was his. It wasn't. He still stayed with his. He still stayed with his businesses and everything else. And they just split it in half, especially the things that they combined together on. She said they had 4 homes. I think I'm gonna get this wrong. Don't care about researching. I think she got 2 homes and then he got the other 2. That makes sense to me because if you're both poured into this thing, renovated, did this and that, split in half because that's what your agreement was in the marriage. Who cares about some infidelity clause? I don't know if it's real or not, but at the end of the day, if you're signed in community of property, you'll build the shit together, half and half. Simple.
Bro, and also another thing is also on the nigga side, there are mad hypotheticals. Too many hypotheticals because niggas are gonna talk on losing half of shit when they don't even have their shit now. They don't even have their 100% now.
Facts.
You know
Niggas
what I
don't have
mean? It's
anything
like,
to their name now, and they say, no, I'm going to lose half my shit if I get married. What are you going to lose?
what are you gonna lose? And my thing is, it's not even to say we're not caping for marriage or speaking against it. It's about this fact where people like to be spectators in other people's lives. They're not in the field, they're not playing to win, they're not playing to lose, they're not playing at all. They're just making comments from the side. If Madrid would pay me the same, I would also do this. It's like, no, nigga, you would not. You are not on that level. You're not even remotely close. The best thing one can do with their time is to focus on what they've got going on, not be speaking of what another man lost or what another man done. If he's done something great and if he's done something bad, you learn from it, apply it to your own life, and then something happens for you. But all these hypotheticals, bro, you don't get anything.
Bruh, hypotheticals are the downfall of today's society. But
bro, hypotheticals are really the downfall of the society.
Bruh, but also just to transition on some football shit. Yes, I saw this
You know
clip.
who's not sorry, dog, but you
Yeah.
know who's not the downfall of society?
Who there?
Hugo Bruce. Hugo Bruce is my president. Hugo Bruce, he's cooking, dog. Even though, look, we should have not struggled with Lesotho that much, but I know the Bafana of old would have lost that game.
He's
Bafana
brought
of old would have lost that game.
brought back pride. Like regardless of winning games, because we did win here and there in the past, but there's an actual pride about us where we want to now go support, we want to now go watch because there's pride about us. We did very well at AFCON. Oh, Ronwen Williams was the greatest goalkeeper in the continent last year. So we're like, oh, okay, sure. We now understand.
Even got a South African nigga in the Ballon d'Or ranking. He was in the Ballon d'Or ranking. What are you talking
top 20
about,
or top 50 or whatever, top 30.
Yeah, so, doesn't matter, bro. When was the last time we saw that?
Probably Benny McCarthy in the early 2000s, I'm sure.
You see.
You see what I'm saying? But no, I know they cooked. I didn't watch the games. I won't even lie to you. I have been very disassociated from society in the last 14 weeks or so. Yeah.
I did. And the number one thing I want to say, bro, up the Buccaneers, boy. Up the Buccaneers. I don't care what niggas have to say because when Sundowns niggas were cooking in AFCON, it was like, oh, no. Sundowns did this. No. This is the work of the Pep Guardiola regen from Sundowns.
No.
No.
But in all honesty,
Up
like
the Bucks.
Yes, what
Mofokeng, boy, Mofokeng was cooking yesterday. Mofokeng was cooking, and he's been cooking for Pirates this whole season. Man has been cooking. Man's got the world at his feet. You could pass the man the world and he would trap it.
Sensational.
Sensational.
Nah, bro, but like what, like just to not stray off of local. It's just the Sundowns did really well in building whatever system they have now, and the money that was invested into Sundowns, because back then it was just the Chiefs and Pirates domination, and then someone else would
And then
just win J.
Swallows would come in here, Super Sports would come in
Yeah, people would
there,
just sprinkle
so on
there.
and so forth.
Now they have a monopoly over EPSL. I don't even know who sponsors. Is it Sports Money?
DSTV Premiership.
It's not even DSTV anymore. It's now
It's not even DSTV.
Oh, what's that sports
I
thing?
wouldn't
Sports Tech?
sports stake or sports. It doesn't matter. All it matters, but Sundowns has been steamrolling the league. And one of the things that Sundowns did very well is that they created an entire system. Like they actually were the first South African team to create an entire well-functioning, well-drilled, well-oiled system. Obviously, it's not Arab money. It's Motsepe money, bro.
Yeah,
That
it's
Motsepe
Motsepe
money
money,
goes
dog.
far. Motsepe money
He
goes
owns,
far,
he
but
can damn near own this continent, honestly.
bro, he's already the president of CAF, bro. Man's moving crazy. But all else said, I'm just happy at the level of talent that's coming through our shores. I'm happy with some of the developments. Obviously, the football still needs to be fine-tuned, but the number of people who are actually going through is good. But one thing that really pissed me off, bro, Utao, bro, I piss it out, bro. I must leave it now, bro. I must leave it
Yeah,
now, bro.
there's a lot of things that our not older, but guys that have done well in yesteryear, and they now can't leave because now they're running off of reputation. Just like Cristiano running off of reputation with Portugal, Mans does not want to hang it up for selfish reasons. He does not need to be in
But
that
I still
squad.
think Cristiano has something to give there, bro. These men are moving like yo. You remember Abo Bernard Parker, bro? Man would be benching for Chiefs and still starting in Bafana. It's like, bro, no, man. Like Percy Tau and Percy Tau, he went to Molde FC in Norway, I think, yeah, in Norway. And immediately, bro, immediately the admin for Twitter saw that account get like 800K new followers or something like that. And it's
Exactly.
like niggas ride for
Pause.
Tau. Pause, man.
But yeah,
Pause, man.
like to also just switch to international. Yeah, I saw this random clip of Brazil playing, and then Uvini Jr. got substituted. Mind you,
Bro,
Uvini still wants to now argue and talk, and then Rafinha and someone else, for who else? Or I forgot.
it was Cunha.
Cunha, yes.
Cunha.
Rafinha and Cunha tell him, hey, bro, leave. So
Leave, dog.
Magic,
You're gonna get a yellow card. You're not gonna be able to play.
to play
Now
against
niggas time
who?
wasting.
Against Argentina, more specifically.
Argentina.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's time
yeah.
wasting. So as he was walking off, Mans decides to try and take off his shin guards on the field. And then Abu Rafinha like, hey, bruh, listen, it's not about you, bruh. Like that's when I realized, no,
Yeah,
Vinny is
facts.
really a narcissist, bro. He's really a narcissist. Mind you, when
He is.
Modella, instead of walking off the pitch and thinking of the team where we need you in this next fixture, because Argentina is no joke. You see, Simeone's son got called up to Argentina now. That man is a soldier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
a soldier, bro.
Bruh, and then they have Abu McAllister who looks English, has an English name, but is Argentinian somehow. But they have all these niggas that
Bro,
that's the weirdest shit to me.
that's some
Colonization is
weird
wild,
shit, though. Yeah, it is, bro. It's the
bruh.
funniest
But
thing ever. And that man
mm,
struggles to put together English. It's decent, but I was expecting to hear like Scottish ass nigga because a name like McAllister and you're already ginger head. I was waiting for
bro,
like an English nigga. Then I heard a Spanish accent. I was like, huh? What?
bruh. Hey, but they love saying the word nigga anyway, so that's all he knows, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Nah, bruh. But then these niggas, bro, like who Vinny is very selfish in that moment. It's like, bro, if you're gonna do this, we need you. We're not even a team, we're a country. Like, forget this Madrid, Barca nonsense or whatever. This you're now playing for your country. Ulo Perez has nothing to do with this. This is your country's honor. We're trying to restore the Brazilian faith. They have all of that shit. Because I was even watching old videos of Neymar and Ronaldinho playing when Neymar was still in Tuan and I think it was like 19 in the national team, and they were just having a
Sure.
ball up in that pitch. They were having a
Yeah,
ball, and they
yeah.
won the Confed Cup in 2009 and
Yeah.
2013, I think. They won the
2013, yeah, 2013. And yo, bro, you remember Fred? He was the number 9. Bro, that man's career vanished as quickly as it started. Because I remember, like, who's this Fred nigga, bro? Had a decent World Cup, but never saw him again.
Bro, I remember that because I remember even on mixes, like every single time you scored, I'd ask, who was Fred? Who was Fred? We'd all post on or whatever we did on mixes. Who was Fred? Who was this Fred guy, bro? He just kept scoring. But there's a lot of soldiers of yesteryear that did very well on the international stage that disappeared. Like Mans who scored the Euro final in the Euro final for Portugal.
Yeah.
That homie, can't even
Ada.
remember his name. Eda, yeah. There's those
Yeah.
homies. There's just random dudes that, okay, sure, they had a good season and then performed on the national team level, and then at some point they just disappeared. It's just very few people like Abu James Rodriguez, where they performed internationally, still went ahead and did it at club level, even though they didn't really.
Goetze's a weird one because Goetze, he was performing and he still performed after there, but he just never made it to what he thought it was going to be. Because, bro, that man's stocks went up when he scored the World Cup goal because he has been cooking for a time. And back then, I remember Goetze and Neymar, it was still a conversation. Obviously, Neymar was ahead because he was the better player, but that point, there was still a conversation with who's going to be the wonder kid who's going to do it all. But
It was Hazard
that
before
World Cup
Hazard.
final, it, it was
Because
Hazard
man's no,
after
listen,
Hazard.
he went to a bigger club, got more money, got fat, fucked up his own chances.
Oh shit. Oh, and because bro, Götze got fat, bro. The hamburgers he couldn't stay away from them.
Bruh, Hazard before Hazard. Now you know Hazard. Now bruh, literally, I could see exactly what Hazard was doing in the 2018 World Cup. Mans was trying to get signed. I could just literally see it. It's like,
Yeah,
bro, like
yeah,
we can tell that
yeah,
you're actually trying harder than usual. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's not like
yeah.
cool or Courtois. Courtois, the way he does things is just weird. Maybe it's just his mood or whatever. But when it comes to international shit, he becomes a brick wall. He becomes unstoppable. But then on club level, he can shake here and there in league games, and suddenly knockout matches and finals, he's a warrior. You know what I'm saying? So
But I
those are
think ever since he
yeah.
got to Madrid, he's found the motivation. Another nigga who does a lot of that's Serge Gnabry, bro. Every Serge Gnabry, that one, that like 2 seasons, like from 2018 to about 2020, 2021, man was a beast. Then after that, bro, he got that huge contract, man chilled. Then he came back again, 2022. I remember the contract was up. He was looking up, our man balled out, got that extension, then he chilled again. Lets me
Hey,
know
man,
that these niggas, bro, they know they could get away with it. They know they could get
exactly.
away with it.
But anyway,
But one
bruh,
thing that you can never get away with, one thing
uh,
you can never get away with, and one thing you can never forget, and one thing you can never play with is the experience you've just had, the ism that you've just gotten, the gems that you've just picked up on
bro,
the world's most sensational podcast
Sensational.
and
with your
also,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Cook.
Nah, I was just gonna say, I saw someone try to steal our shit on Twitter. I'm not too sure if they even know it, but I'm gonna say, you know what this was, you know what this is, you know what this is always gonna motherfucking be. With who?
Fear Bavaria in your area.
And Wesley Sniper.
Shoot him from a distance like Roberto Carlos. I think these days we should say shoot him from a distance like Ernesto Valverde.
Yeah, facts.
Sensational.
But anyway, man, this was the Let Me Mansplain podcast, the world's most sensational podcast where
Everything.
everything goes, just as long as you can mansplain it. Only thing that cannot go and you can't get back after you mansplain it is your hairline.
Damn.
It's the only
The
thing.
fuck?
Other than that, everything goes. Everything goes, just as long as you can mansplain it.
You
Yeah.
gone.